All right. Hello, and welcome back to another car conversation, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're staying cool, hydrated, all that, depending upon what part of the world that you are in. Listen, so we need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk about all the conversation around. I'm going to put the SCOTUS decision, the complete and total immunity decision on pause, because I'm quite sure you all have heard that conversation, right? I am going to do that in a separate video. But what I want to talk about right now is all the conversation in regards to replacing Joe Biden in the election. And these are my thoughts. These are just my thoughts. Number one, we can't have a conversation about replacing Joe Biden with anyone other than Kamala Harris. That's number one. That is number one. First and foremost, that is number one. You can't try to prop or put someone in front of the actual VP because she's there. And she's been doing it for 3.5 years. So that conversation is a non-starter and highly problematic, in my opinion. These other names that have been thrown out there other than Kamala Harris. But let's also talk about Kamala Harris, or the replacement of Joe Biden with Kamala Harris, and why that's problematic as well. So, I know I did a video on this last year sometime and doing my own little prediction in regards to who would be the candidates on the ticket. My idea back then, and actually several people were talking about a Harris Newsom ticket. Okay, that was the conversation. The DNC said no. We're riding with Biden. We're going to continue riding with Biden. Jamie Harris, announced proudly and boldly, we are riding with Biden. Okay, so we got on board with Joe Biden. Now, the reason that we were given, there were several reasons, and that's what I'm going to work through right now. Several reasons why Kamala Harris would not be able to win. Number one, racists would not vote for her. Racists wouldn't vote for her then. Racists will not vote for her now. Okay, if that was the thinking and the narrative and the thought process of the DNC a year ago, racists haven't changed. If anything, they've taken off the hoods and they're boldly announcing what they want to do with all of us. So that was number one. Racists won't vote for her. We need the white male. Okay. And then you also have the group of people who claim to not be racist and they have that black friend, that one black friend. They won't vote for her either. And then you have the group of people that, claim they were going to vote for Hillary, but they obviously didn't vote for Hillary. Those white women who duped us in 2016 to have the expectation that now they would vote for Kamala Harris. Now, I understand with Roe, there are a lot of people that have kind of shifted and changed their minds in regards to Roe. But please also understand, there are some Caucasian women out there that still believe that if there were to have been any woman in the White House, it should have been Hillary Clinton, another Caucasian woman, versus a Black woman. That woman exists as well. So no matter what has happened with Roe, you still have some women with this mentality that I just gave you. There were in 2020, there were some Black men of a certain age that said that they would not vote for Kamala Harris. Go figure. There were some white men, and still are some white men of a certain age, that would not vote for a woman, period, for the presidency. And I believe that was the argument for some of the Black men as well. Just a woman, period, leading the country, they could not wrap their heads around. So they would not vote for Kamala Harris. We have trad wives now, like that's a thing now, and that wasn't a big, at least a big, well-known, talked about thing at that time. There are literally some women in this country that believe and they want their place to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. They do not believe that women should be in leadership positions. So there's another group that would not vote for Kamala Harris. Pro-life women, because the whole conversation is, oh, she's great with the women. She's, in regards to the abortion conversation, and she's great with younger people. Well, you got pro-life women that they might not be racist. They might not be totally connected to Hillary. They might not even, want to be the trad wife, but they are totally against abortion. So they wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. So I find it interesting that now, a year later, the DNC and a lot of Democrats are saying, well, let's look at Kamala's numbers against 45. She's doing well. I think people would vote for her. When you gave us all these reasons why she wouldn't have worked last year. And yes, Roe changed a lot, but did Roe change everything? Or the reversal of Roe, did that change everything? Does that change the racist? Does that change men of a certain age who believe that women should not be in certain positions? Did that change the pro-lifers? Did Roe change the mentality of people who wanted to see Hillary, a Caucasian woman? If anyone was going to be in the White House, it needed to be a Caucasian woman first. So I find it very odd. I find it very peculiar that now you have these, Democrats running around like their hair is on fire, talking about let's go with Kamala, when they know very well, and they made all of these arguments last year as to why a Harris-Newsom ticket would not work. I find it very peculiar. I also find it very peculiar that the majority of these individuals that are still talking about one, and I agree, one horrible debate a week ago, one horrible debate. It was cringy, like it was hard to watch. But in comparison to 3.5 years of what his administration has accomplished, and also in comparison to the individual who was found liable for sexual assaults, the individual who has said that he walks around grabbing women by their genitals, the individual who is clearly a narcissistic sociopath, the individual who is clearly a con artist and habitual liar, the individual who has been impeached twice, has been indicted 4 different times, has 88 felony counts, and has been convicted, a convicted felon. And we're still talking about one bad debate? Come on. Come on. Let's get back to reality here. We already have Joe Biden. Joe Biden already has a strong VP. Kamala's already there. She's already there. She's a strong VP. And then we also have a very strong and competent cabinet surrounding Biden. So to have this disruption 4 months out from an election, And then if you're talking about replacing Biden with any other person than Kamala, then you're risking a huge chunk of the voting bloc with Black voters. And then if you're talking about replacing him with Kamala, that is also highly problematic for all the reasons that I just listed off. And on top of that, for some reason, I have this gut feeling that all of the things that I've already said are known and they are a given. But there are some people that are pushing to elevate her to the top of the ticket because if Democrats fail, if they lose this election, we can't have the white male go down in history as the loser against an autocracy, against a dictatorship, against Project 45 and a ultra conservative Supreme Court. We can't have the white male that failed in that position. So if you put the Black woman there and she fails and she goes down for that, then that history will settle a little bit better with some people than the alternative. That's just my 2 cents. Those are my thoughts. And I think that we continue, we stay the course, we keep it moving, and we push to get through this election, protect our democracy, protect our freedoms, protect our livelihood, protect our future, because all that's on the ballot. So you could literally replace Biden's name. If that's what you need to mentally do, replace his name with yours, because you're fighting for your freedoms. That's what's on the line here. They are trying to strip you of all your freedoms. Replace your name. Vote for you. Vote for your livelihood. Vote for your career. Vote for your access to education. Vote for your freedom. Vote for your ability to stay in this country. And I'm going to get into Project 2025, but if you've already started reading it, you know what I'm talking about. Vote for that. But all this nonsense talk about replacing Biden with Kamala or anybody else in the 9th hour is a bunch of bullshit. It's too risky. It's too risky. It's too confusing. It will cause chaos and you're going to lose some people. Some people will say this shit isn't working for me anyway. And now it's all chaotic and crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what Democrats are doing. And I'm just going to stay at home. That's what's going to happen if you mess this shit up. So DNC, get your people together, get them on message, just like Republicans have the ability to do, and let's press forward and let's get this thing done.